where my mom's at. Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at. Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at.
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Oh, welcome to Where My Mom's At podcast, the first episode. Thank you so much for downloading. So let's do some business first. Come see me perform stand-up comedy live August 2nd through 3rd, Salt Lake City, Utah, September 5th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, September 6th, Chicago, Illinois, September 7th, Boston, Massachusetts, October 3rd through 5th, Nashville, Tennessee, November 22nd, Seattle, Washington, and November 23rd, Portland, Oregon. Very, very exciting. Okay, we're here, guys. This is it. The first episode of Where My Mom's At, and I'm so excited. And I know some of you are like, where's that deep, bro? Where did it go? Well, I'll tell you where it went. It went away with 2 kids because I used to be smart. I used to read philosophy books. I used to be able to quote things like Nietzsche. And then I have 2 amazing little life forces just sucking every brain cell and resource out of me. So basically they took over my life and my consciousness, but I've left up all the old That's Deep Bro episodes. I will not be taking those down. Those are on the same YouTube channel as this show, my personal YouTube page, Christina P. And you'll see links to that on the Where My Mom's At podcast website. Okay. So first of all, this is a show by moms and for moms. Yes, we're going to have guests, but the truth of it is I don't have many cool mom friends. And I kind of want you guys, you to be my cool mom friend. I feel like the mom world is not very transparent. I feel like there's a lot of BS around it. And I want to know what really goes on in your world, in my world. So go ahead and email me, send me your voicemails, send me your videos to WhereMyMomsAt at gmail.com. And there's also a phone number you can leave a voicemail. Please try to make it about 1 minute or less. Leave your name, where you're from. And the number is 213-375-5184. Again, that's 213-375-5184. And the email is wheremymomsat at gmail.com. And there's also a website, wheremymomsat.com. So check it out. Try it out. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to get into it. First of all, I just want to share a mom moment with you. I was alone with my kids this weekend because my husband's out of town, as he always is. We're both touring, but we take turns staying home. And I decided to get the fuck out of the house because you know what I'm talking about. You love your children, yes, but then I've learned to heed the call of being annoyed by them and I gotta go. So I was driving. Sometimes I just get in my car and I drive. We've all been there, right? Where you're like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to do anything productive. I need to, and I went by a Chinese foot massage place, and it's in a strip mall near my house. And I went in, not gonna lie, a little creepy, but I liked the smell of incense. And there was a lady behind the counter. And I was so desperate to just get a foot massage or just have somebody take care of me for $25, you know? So she goes, you want a male or female? And I was like, female. She goes, well, how about a male? And I was like, sure, sold. You know how they do that? Well, we only have a guy. Okay. So his name was Georgie. And like I said, I'm kind of desperate for just a get out of the house for an hour. And Georgie's doing his thing. I'm sitting up. First of all, I don't know why Chinese people don't believe in comfort. I feel like they don't like being comfortable during their massages because I had to sit upright. And then he's, putting his elbow in my shoulders. But it's nice. He's doing a really good job. But in the back of my head, I'm like, it's a dude. It's a dude. Is he rubbing his junk against my... Oh, is that a junk press? Oh, is that a junk? I don't know. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't care. Someone's touching me nicely. My husband's gone. I'm just so excited that I'm out of the house. And, but then I reminded myself because I not to brag, but I am very woke and multicultural. And I dated a Chinese guy for 4 years. And hey, how about that? I'm a cool mom, not a regular mom. And so, but I'll tell you what I know about Chinese people, man, because I hung out with the real Chinese peeps. Yeah, play the fucking cool mom. I'm a fucking cool mom. Before I had children, I had...
Cool mom.
Not like a regular mom. Yeah. I'm a cool mom.
That's right. I did all kinds of wacky stuff. But I'm telling you this, man, from what I know about the Chinese men and people, they're not the pervert race. Do you know what I'm saying? Like whenever I've seen dudes masturbating in public, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of homeless men, men on buses masturbating. I saw a guy in a church in Mexico masturbating in a pew. Never Chinese. You never see Asian people. Is that great for you, Nadav? Do you love this?
Yeah, it's really good insight.
It's good insight, and it's kind of true. Have you ever seen a Chinese guy masturbating in the street?
I don't think I've ever seen anyone masturbate.
Oh, well, you're blessed. Hashtag.
Yeah, I guess I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, no, you got to be a little blonde girl. But so Georgie and I concluded I eventually began to relax enough to trust him. At one point, I felt like he was only rubbing one shoulder, and I was like, "What's the other hand doing?" You know. It turns out he was doing two hands on one side. So I was like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. But we had a great moment. Georgie and I had a great massage, and I'm going to go back to this place. So the point being, moms, dads, you know those moments, just find a way to get the F out of the house, even if it's just for an hour. Because I came back recharged, ready to listen to Baby Shark 500 more times. I came back ready to fight with my toddler over bedtime. It was fantastic. You got to take those moments to get the F out for a minute. And just enjoy your life and enjoy getting a massage from a Chinese guy. Okay, here we go. I have a great opening clip. This is it. Let's just play this voicemail I got.
Time to find out who's the worst mom.
I don't know if she's the worst. I don't know if she's I'd say my mom's the worst mom, but you know, we just jokes.
Hey, mommies. So my mom fail is my 2.5-year-old daughter one morning woke me up singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star into my purple vibrator. So, good times.
I love it. I love it. I've been getting a lot of emails and voicemails like this that apparently children love finding your sex toys. So I think we should all get mom and dad drawers. Tom and I have mom and dad drawers where we lock shit up. You put your weed in there. You put your dildos, your cock rings, all that good stuff, right? Let that be a lesson to you, lady. Okay, this next segment I call Mom Brain. I don't have a VO for it, but soon we will because I think that is real. So I have this woman, Jennifer, writes in, "Hey, Christina, huge fan here, sending you an OMG, what the hell was I thinking moment. So let's rewind a few years back. Me and my friends are out at the Olive Garden. We place our orders. My friend orders the 3-cheese ravioli. I order the lasagna. Waitress arrives with food, sets down the plates, to which I gasp, oh my God, they gave you way more than 3. Waitress looks at me, sets down my plate, and says, it is 3 cheese, not 3 cheese raviolis. Oh my God. I totally see myself saying that stuff. So dumb. So stupid.
Catch me outside. How about that?
How about that? I'm telling you, man, before I had kids, I think my IQ was a lot higher. I think it's just like years of sleep deprivation, you know? My brain is in 2 different people's lives. My life, my husband's life, everybody's life but my own. Oh, okay. So this one, this is great. This is an interesting one. This is a question. This is what would Christina P do? What would I do?
You got mom questions? CP's got mom answers. What would Christina P do?
It's silly. It's just so stupid. Okay, here we go. It says, Christina, I'm so excited for this. Great, thank you. The more Christina, the better. I agree, guys. I agree. Long story short, this past year, my husband tried to murder me. Okay. I'm not so sure that's a story we should make short, but okay. Do we call her? We should call her. There's no phone number. We're not. Anyways, moving right along. I am now a single mom. My question is, when Tom is out of town, what do you do to keep your sanity? Your husband tried to murder you. You know, I've actually gotten a lot of emails like this. That's deep, bro. A lot of people have been almost murdered by family members and husbands. That's I'd say what you should do right now is put up fencing and cameras. You got the Nest Cam. I'd say I would put that up. I mean, the Ring app, the Ring. I mean, dude. Okay, but I'll answer your question because I think the question really is how do I deal with with my husband being gone when I have kids or loneliness. So, okay, I'll tell you the first part. We have no family. So I have to hire help. So I have hired help that comes and helps me take care of my children when my husband's out. Otherwise, I don't know how I would leave the house. I'd be insane. Secondly, I think you're just asking, how do I handle the loneliness of my husband being gone? And, I know a lot of women have military husbands or husbands that travel for work. And, I think luckily the truth of it is I'm quite a loner. I'm an only child. I grew up alone, and I kind of enjoy being alone. I think Tom and I are both loners at heart, which helps. But I do get lonely, obviously. So what I do, this is so embarrassing, but I watch a lot of Ryan Gosling movies at night. I've just admitted to myself that I'm a middle-aged mom, and I enjoy things like romantic movies, and I watch them when he's gone. I also take a lot of CBD oil at night. I can't drink anymore because I'm currently dieting. I'm trying to lose baby weight. But I take that, and I spend a lot of time with my kids, and that really does help because I'm just really focused on them a lot. I try to meet friends for brunch or stuff, and I have a lot of stupid hobbies, I guess. I just find interests. I think that's really important, is finding interests outside of your kids and your husband. Like right now I'm obsessed with Joe Strummer and The Clash. And so I bought a poster. I had that frame. That's my project. I'm obsessed with my coffee station and ways to improve that in my bathroom. There you go. I hope that helps. And I hope your next husband doesn't try to murder you, because that's a real freaking bummer. Okay. That was chilling. Okay, mom fails. Let's do some of these. These are so much fun. Let me see. Do we have a song for that or no?
No, we don't have a specific one.
Oh, that's fine. I love these, because I feel like Instagram, which I'm on constantly, only shows you the good parts of parenting, right? You see those fucking bitches with their perfect families, and you're like, that ain't real, girl. That ain't real. That's a millisecond of parenting, right? Parenting is 51% awesome. That's someone said to me, and it's absolutely true. This next one is from Joanna. This is her mom fail. My kids, 7 and 3, were playing outside with the hose. I went inside to make lunch and came back to my 3-year-old standing at the door, spraying the hose directly into the house. I let out a nice loud, "What the fuck?" Loud enough for all the neighbors to hear. Also, whoopsies. Yeah, of course you did. You cannot turn your back for a millisecond. They do. This is so funny. I let my kids play with the hose constantly like white trash. And they fuck up everything, man. I let my older son, when he was much younger, play in the sink all the time. He would just stand there and the water would splash all over. And now all the cabinets under the sink are completely warped. The wood is ruined because I'm the laziest mom in the world. And I'm just like, let him play. Who gives a shit? Well, $50,000 later. That's why you don't let your kid do anything. I'm such a dope. The second kid is not playing in the sink. Yeah, I let my kid play with shaving cream too. That's a big one in our house. But that I like to do before bath time. You know what I mean? Because then he's all messed up with shaving cream. That's good because you can just hose that off the driveway. Anything that you can hose off the driveway. I got to tell you, the best mom hack I ever did when my kid was like 2, that small. I like to get a lawn chair and a box with flour and just let the kid go to town with flour and the hose and all that. Like I said, if it can be hosed off, and I would just sit in the lawn chair and have a beer and watch him fucking do his thing. Okie dokie. Where's that parenting book, huh? Where's that? Where's that real mom hack where you just get to sit and drink and watch your kid play with sand or flour? That's the best mom toy ever. Okay. Here's another mom fail. Hey, Christina, more than once, I didn't take my kids to elementary school because I was having, quote, dizzy spells. I was just tired as fuck. Another parenting fail is when my kids were little. While they played, I'd lay on the floor by them, using my body to keep the door closed so they couldn't escape. and I could nap. I was always tired when they were little. Amen. I always sucked at helping with homework, and I lacked patience. They survived. My oldest is 22 years old, married in the Navy. Middle kid is 19 years old, about to start her second year of college at UCF. Very good. And my youngest is getting ready for his junior year of high school. He's in marching band, symphonic orchestra, string orchestra, culinary. Am I saying that word right? Culinary?
Culinary.
See, my husband just made fun of me. I thought it was culinary. Where I'm learning to speak the Queen's English. And the Cambridge Academy, Miracles. Anyway, my name is Jennifer. I'm 44 years old, been married 23 years and counting. Wow, congratulations. That's hilarious. Yeah, I've not taken Ellis to preschool on days when I was just too tired as well. And that's great that you using your body so they can't escape. I actually have a playroom with doors. They came that way with French doors so I can lock them in. And on my laziest mom days, I just put on a movie and we all just stay in one room for hours when mom needs nap. When mom's been at the Comedy Store too much the night before. I've been getting a lot of submissions from dads. You know, originally I conceived of this show as a mom only show, but hey man, mommies, we don't see gender, so guess what? Dads can be mommies too. So this is a dad fail, which is fantastic.
It's now time for How I Almost Killed My Kid This Week.
Not as in I didn't murder my child, but as in I did something negligent where my child, because I feel like that's a huge part of parenting that nobody admits to also, is that you almost inadvertently kill your children. I just did one last night. Ellis, stupidly, I got him bath bombs to put in his tub to make bath time exciting. And, he sees a bunch of anything and he's stoked. And next thing I know, the bath bomb is unwrapped and he's like holding it under the faucet barehanded and it's just foaming and burning his skin. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what did I do? I'm so stupid. Like I knew that was coming and then I do it. Anyways, he just flushed toy cars down the toilet this weekend too, so I have to call the plumber. That's going to be a nice $200 venture. Okay, dad fail. Here we go. This is amazing. This says...
this is the voicemail that came in.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was reading that. Okay, go. Yeah. This is great.
All right, so when my youngest was about a year and a half old, we fell asleep on the couch together, and we lived in a park. And she got out, and it was fall. She didn't have a shirt on. I was asleep, and she was playing in the park by herself. And a random family came and knocked on my trailer door and asked me if it was my kid. And it made me feel like the biggest piece of shit. To this day, it still makes me feel like shit when it's brought up by my wife. Thanks, Mommy.
Oh, did you hear that part at the end? When it's brought up by my wife. I just caught that. Wow, that's terrible because I think, listen, both moms and dads, you both at one time almost kill your children. And I think the hardest thing in the world is to not constantly throw that up in your spouse's face. Because one time Tom was holding Ellis as a baby. We're putting him in the bathtub. And I think like his head whipped back, the baby's head. And he like almost spilled out of Tommy's arms. And we were both like, oh my God, like that was one. I mean, I've almost killed both children. One time I was changing Ellis, he had a quarter in his mouth and he like choked on it. I had to pull that out. I've almost dropped Julian 100. The hard part is not blaming your spouse and bringing it up. So I'm sorry your wife does that. I don't think that's a cool thing because you both almost kill your children on the daily, bro. But that's horrible. The kid sneaking out, that's my worst fear too. Because eventually they can open doors. They figure out those child-proof things so fast. Ellis already knows. He's like, what's this shit? Opens the handle and he lets himself out. I am freaking terrified. Okay. Gosh, now I'm thinking about building more fences for my kids. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, you know what I bought? I don't even know if this is worth a damn. It's called GeoBit. They don't sponsor the show or anything. I saw it on Facebook because I'm a cool mom. I'm on Facebook. And it's like a little GPS tracker. Uh-oh, am I going to get the cool mom drop?
Cool
oh, no!
I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
I spend my time really wisely. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on the groups. And it's like a little GPS tracker, and you can tie it on their shoelace. I don't know. I'm going to try it out and let you guys know how it is, because who the fuck knows if any of that stuff works. I'm sure a kidnapper can just take the thing off your kid anyways. But cool thought. Okay, Christina. Haven't slept in 4 years. Have I mentioned that? Tired. Okay. This one's great.
Yeah, now it's time for a new segment, right?
Wait, is this is dad fail. Yeah. Well, that first one was a dad fail too, I'd say.
True. But,
yeah, which one?
That one was in the lane of he almost killed his kids. But this one's a little different.
Okay, which one is this one, Mommy?
I'm definitely doing this wrong, right?
I'm definitely doing this wrong is those parenting moments where you're like, I messed this up. Should have done that one differently. So this is a voicemail, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. This is pretty rad.
Hey, mommies. This is Hunter up in Minnesota, and I heard you were looking for some mommy fails, and I got a good one for you. So when I was about 10 years old, my dad took my dog to go get put down, and he didn't tell us. And turns out he got him put down on Christmas Eve without telling us, and to make things worse, I ended up getting a dog-themed Monopoly board that year, and our aunt gave me and my siblings treats to give the dog, not knowing that Dad had him put down the day before without telling us.
Oh my God.
I also had to shovel his footprints in the snow off right before I found out that he died, or that Dad went to have him put down without taking us. So that's one big mommy fail and one damper on Christmas I'll have for the rest of my life. All right, well, keep them high and tight. Love you, mommies.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not how you explain to the kids that the family pet died.
Right. So that was the wrong way. I mean, what's the right way?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, look, I don't know. Fuck, I'll tell you what we just did when FIFO passed. I'll tell you what my parents did first, though. Something similar. I remember I had a pet bird, and like I don't know. One day we put the bird in a box and just drove it to the vet, and then it was gone. Like, you have to explain stuff to your kids. I think they need, because I think what happens when you get traumatized, the root of that is like nobody's explaining what's going on, right? So when there's a death in the family, whether it be a human or a pet, you have to, I think, explain to children that it's sad, A, that somebody's missing, B, and that we're all sad and it's okay to grieve. And like right now, I told him, I didn't explain death because he's 3, my boy. But I did say that FIFO went to doggy heaven. So that's a place, who knows, that he's gone and he won't be coming back. And we're all very sad. And we all talk about FIFO a lot so that he processes the sadness. And sometimes he tells me, where's FIFO? Where's FIFO? He asks me, where's FIFO? And I say, he's in doggy heaven. I go, does that make you sad? Yes, me too. We're sad. We miss FIFO. But I remember the good times. And then we remember a nice memory about FIFO. So I don't know. I mean, we got FIFO's ashes recently, and I'm not ready to, I don't think I should show that to him because I don't think he can process what ashes are, what that is. But yeah, eventually when he's older, I think definitely just tell your kids stuff, man. Not telling them is the worst. Not explaining that's the death to the soul, really. Because everyone's got feelings. You got to learn. It took me 8 years in therapy to have a feeling, and now that I have them, I have to learn. I have to explain them to my kids. Okay, this one's what is this? And I'm definitely.
This is still I'm doing this wrong. This one is
from
another dad named George.
Oh, I love these dad fails. Okay, hey Christina, I was spending a few days with some friends in Charlotte after going to the beach to visit my immediate family with my 2-year-old daughter. In normal fashion, I put her down for a nap in the bedroom. I was staying in at the time. After settling down, all we could hear from the living room was giggling. Then we walked up to the room. My friend opens the door and Kit Kat goes, "It's Stinky." He walks in the room and starts laughing. Kit Kat had taken off her diaper, shit in her pack and play, took her diaper off, and tried to put all the shit on the bed. We all had a laugh, and then I cleaned it up for the next hour and a half. I should have seen this coming because the day before she presented me with a diaper next to my head early in the morning saying, "Diaper change," with a big smile. Kids are the best, aren't they, George? Yeah, I know. And here's something else no one tells you, that a lot of parenting is just embracing poop. all the time. And thankfully, I love poopy, so it's fine. But you're cleaning up poo all the time. And I'm so used to having poo on my hands now. Like I wiped up the baby yesterday and there's just green diarrhea on my hand. And I'm like, there's poop. There's another eye infection. Like you just don't even care. But yeah, once they start acknowledging that there's poop, Ellis makes us flush his poop because we're toilet training. Like, hey, I want to see it. I want to see your poop. Oh boy. Okay. Let's do, this is great. Let's close on a lazy mom moment. I love lazy mom moments. I feel like, can I tell you my secret that I've learned this last weekend is the lazier you can be, look, parenting is a marathon, man. It is a marathon. And I was burning myself out on the first kid trying to do everything right. And now I realized if I can just do it a good enough job and I can just be as lazy as possible, I'm actually a lot happier because I'm a lazy person in regular life. So I should be, and by that I mean, I do the basics. I brush his teeth and stuff. We do stuff, but I think I was like, we got to go to the park every day. We got to go do an event. We got to do a thing all the time. It's like, okay, here we go. This is my favorite lazy mom moment. This is a voicemail.
Hello, this is Tony. I'm calling from Cincinnati, Ohio. And a lazy mom, well, love you guys, by the way. A lazy mom moment for me was when we were sitting next to each other watching TV, and she gets up to go get a drink from the kitchen, and she leaves the TV remote on the table, and she comes back, sits down, realizes she left the remote, and she secretly calls my phone, which my phone's also in the kitchen. And I didn't know. I went up and checked who it was, saw it was her, and I looked at it, I looked at her, picked it up while looking at her, and she tells me to bring her the remote. I was furious, but I had to respect it. I had to respect her hustle. It was pretty fucking genius. But I love your show, love everything, love you guys. You guys are awesome. Have a good day.
Thank you. That is amazing, and that is something I can totally see myself doing. We do that all the time. I don't believe in screaming across the house, but if you call me or text me, I do respect that, and I respect that hustle too. That is a awesome lazy mom. Okay, so coming up in a moment here, my friend LeeAnn Kreischer. You know her from Wife of the Party. She will be joining me here, and we're going to get so deep on the mom world, on our moms, and all kinds of wonderful topics. Okay. My first guest is the very lovely, talented podcaster, star of Wife of the Party, LeeAnn Kreischer. I'm
a mom.
You're
I'm a cool mom.
Yeah.
I don't dress like a cool mom.
Cool moms.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
I'm a cool mom.
I'm the uncoolest mom. Just to show you, I'm wearing my cool fanny pack and I've got my Apple Watch to track my fitness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a Fitbit because I'm not as cool as you are.
There's a Fitbit.
It's a Fitbit. Well,
Okay.
this is because I want to track my sleep or my lack of sleep.
Oh, we'll get into all of that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that your husband burnt crystals.
Yes.
He style sucked me and got the same fanny pack.
He totally did. And I made a massive fun of him because he looks like Euro trashy.
Yeah, of course.
With it on. And his belly's too big. But he wears it with the Speedo, and then you can't even see the Speedo. So I don't understand. And what do you put in that when you have a Speedo on? Really? I don't understand. He walks around with money in it. And I'm like, are you just saying, rob me?
Yes.
Please, rob me.
Yes.
Not only for the Gucci fanny pack, but for the money in it. He's so stupid.
He's out of his mind.
And then he pulls the money out in his Speedo and goes, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Unbelievable. So this is LeeAnn Kreischer has a podcast, Wife of the Party, which I'm a huge fan of.
Thank you.
I think you're just killing it. You're doing a tremendous job. If you haven't heard it, go over there. She and her friends talk about real issues in the mom world because you, in my mind, you are a varsity mom.
I was a cheerleader for a long time, varsity. So yes, I think I am a varsity mom.
That's right. So you have a 14-year-old girl, a 12-year-old girl, and a 47-year-old male?
That's correct.
Adult?
That's correct. He's 46. He'll be 47 in November.
Okay. But you do have two girls.
Yes.
14 and 12. And we've known each other. I've known you since the beginning of your journey into motherhood.
I think it was right after we'd had Georgia.
Oh my gosh.
Or yeah, I think it was after we had Georgia. She's 14. So long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Long time. I used to go to their house. We both lived down 6th Street. We lived in the worser part, in the Rampart division, and I would go up 6th to visit you guys, and it would be around bedtime, and it was called naked time.
That's right. And naked time started about 4 o'clock every day. Isla was naked from 4 p.m. until she went to bed.
Yeah.
Not a stitch on.
Yeah.
Now we can't even look at her shoulders.
Yeah.
Like she wears an oversized sweatshirt.
Isla's 12.
She's 12. Yeah. And there's no naked time. She won't even wear a bathing suit. Now she wears a bathing suit with a bra under.
I don't blame her, yeah.
And a rash guard and board shorts.
Yeah. I don't blame her. I went through a similar thing where when I started wearing a bra, I would wear like a training bra and then like another layer, an undershirt, and then a shirt. I was very, very embarrassed of breasts developing.
I think she is too. And she complains a lot about her shoulders. She's like, I don't want anybody to see my shoulders.
Why? What's with the shoulders?
I have no idea. So when I buy clothes for her, that has to be like a crew neck. And it has the sleeves have to go almost to the elbow, preferably to the elbow, but there's no like cap sleeve. There's no tank top happening in her world ever.
What is that about? Does she?
I don't know. I really don't know. And I haven't really tried to figure it out because she's so, you don't want a kid to feel bad about themselves.
No.
Or to exacerbate
they
something.
They feel bad enough.
They
that
do.
age is just hard enough.
Middle school sucks.
Oh my God.
And she's happy. She's doing great socially. Her weight's fine. There's no problem. It's just that she doesn't want anybody to see her shoulders.
I get it. I was goth for like longer than I should have been.
Yeah. What, till you were 35?
Yeah. Till now. And I started around that age, 12, 13. And I would just start covering and just like, don't look at me. I don't want any attention.
Yeah, but you had a really not so great mom. And
let's talk about it. No, hold on. Let's back it up.
My point is, I'm an awesome mom, so it shouldn't be manifesting that.
No, and it's not your fault. See, also too, there's who knows it may have nothing to do with how you parented.
I don't.
You know how those kids are. They come out and they are who they are, and it's your job to fuck it up. So let's get into what I heard on your podcast. It was an episode you did about life after children. What was it called?
I think it was Life After Kids.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
And man, can I tell you, if you're a new mom, go ahead and listen to this episode that LeeAnn did, because I listened to it and I was like, yes, finally somebody is putting words to what I've been feeling for the last 3.5 years as a mother. And I think there's such a taboo around even having remotely negative feelings around motherhood.
Yeah.
And it's making me fucking crazy, because it doesn't mean that you don't love your children if, God forbid, you have a problem with the role of motherhood every now and then.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. And unfortunately, you're made to feel that everything is wrong with you.
Right.
If you feel that way. And I had a hard time finding anybody that felt like that. Even to talk to someone openly, we talked to my friend Paula about it, who was like, yes, let's talk about that. Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that reaction from everybody. And honestly, I don't think everybody feels the way I felt.
You mean not everybody's messed up like we are? How is this possible? No, I think you're right. I think some women, because I see them on Instagram and on Facebook, there are women who are like, the newborn time is the best time ever.
Yeah.
I love breastfeeding. I did it until they were 6.
Yeah.
And I love this whole, I'm into it. And I'm like, I wish I had that. And I envy it. And I feel less than perfect because of it. And I beat myself up a lot.
Well, that's the bad part, is that you feel less than perfect.
Yeah.
Because you're not.
Yeah.
You are perfect. You're exactly how you're supposed to be. Especially someone like you who's gone through having your mom and persevered and found a happy life. Then that is what you build parenting on, right? You have to know yourself, I think anyway. You have to know who you are and be really good with who you are to be a good parent. Because if you aren't good with who you are, then it starts bleeding into
100%.
parenting. You start
100%.
projecting.
Oh my fuck. Preach.
LeeAnn's
LeeAnn's a new Oprah, fuckers. Listen to this woman. Yeah.
You start saying like, what does that mean when you threw that toy across the room? When you go, it just means that he's a boy.
Right.
That's really what it means. It's nothing to do
How
with
dare you gender my child like that? Go ahead.
Right. If the person who threw the truck was a boy, then you could say, and if they identify as boy.
Thank you for clarifying.
Oh my Lord.
But yes, you're right. Is that because that's the problem I'm having right now currently, and when I talk about twice a week in therapy, is because I feel somehow flawed inherently because of my childhood stuff.
Right.
I project it onto how I parent. I struggle with perfectionism.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my therapist says, perfectionism in parenting and in motherhood. And that is toxic. Mm-hmm. And it's been my hardest challenge is letting myself be a good enough mom. Have you ever heard that phrase, the good enough mother?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a thing in psychology now. They did studies and there's some book out there about it that the psychologists say you just have to be a good enough mom. You don't have to be perfect. And having a little amount of struggle in a kid's life is actually good for them.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah.
It teaches them coping skills. It gives them an opportunity to learn coping skills. I think another thing that parents, I think, could do better, maybe, myself included, is instead of disciplining what's happening, to teach the coping skill that caused whatever happened.
Oh,
and that keeps that takes some kind of like depth of sight to say, okay, you hit your sister not because you're mean, but you hit your sister because maybe you don't have words to say what you're feeling. So the only thing you know how to do is hit them. So why don't we parent, hey, what are you feeling right now? How do you feel about that? And why would that make you hit your sister? And now, could you not hit your sister?
Right. Because my boy is 3.5 and my youngest is almost 10 months old. And we're having that problem where Ellis will run up and just take the toy out of the baby's hand and smack the baby or something. And you're just like, oh, man, this one, how do I do that? Yeah. But that's interesting because now Ellis has words and I can be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
What are you feeling? Are you jealous?
Yeah.
Are you angry? Anyways, what I really loved about this episode you did with your friend, is that you referred to motherhood as the dark forest.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I went, oh, I get that. But explain in your words, what's the dark forest?
I felt really lost in that time period. I felt like, because I was a writer, I wrote screenplays for a long time, and then I became a mom. And, you know, with Bert, one of us had to kind of be stable, and there's no fucking way Bert's going to be stable.
What?
So I know, crazy, right?
Kidding me? But and also, let's not forget, I think Bert's career at the time, he had just become a feature act.
Yes.
So he was making what? $500-600 a week, which is
if that,
so it was rough.
It was really rough, and I had to work while I was, I worked full time.
What were you doing? You're writing?
I managed apartment buildings.
That's right, I remember that.
And so I worked at home. So I mommed and worked at the same time. No nanny. Okay, ooh. Varsity mom. It was terrible.
Just earned your stripes, bro.
Oh, it was so hard. But
how the fuck? So you had at that point 1 or 2 kids. When you started
when the
doing
second
that.
kid came, I got promoted, and so I had to get a nanny. But she was about a year old when that happened. So until Isla turned about a year, I worked full time with Bert on the road. He was gone, 4 or 5 days a week. So I was a single mom 4 or 5 days a week with a full time job. I managed a 39-unit apartment building. I had no maintenance man, so it was all me.
You were Schneider going from apartment to. Did you have a cool tool belt at least?
I did. I always still. But the dark forest for me was being completely void of self, right? There was no space for self.
Right.
There's no sleep. There was no, hey, I just want to have, I want to have a pizza with fucking anchovies one time, please. You can't do that because you're not going to order a whole pizza for yourself. You got to order the cheese pizza for the kid, cheese pizza for the next 15 years. But there's just was no space for you to just be a woman or a girl even.
Especially that first year. To be clear, I'm in it now. I'd say the first 3 months are triage. You're just in chaos.
Yeah.
5 to 6 months when that baby can sit up. Okay, now I can start taking a breath.
Yeah.
By 1 year, I'm like, praise Jesus, we're out of the forest.
Yeah.
Now that kid's gonna start walking and putting everything in his mouth and tearing up my house. And that's when I relax, when that baby's a toddler. And I'm like, great, pretty soon you'll be talking, you're telling me to fuck off. Great. That's the phase of motherhood I'm comfortable with.
Right.
I'm comfortable with rebellion and anger and like tearing shit up.
Well, it sounds to me like you're comfortable with independence. Yeah.
Vulnerability, not so much.
Yeah. It's not just vulnerability. I would feel trapped.
Oh,
I felt trapped.
Yes,
I was like, I can't leave. I can't take a walk.
Can't take a shit.
I can't take a shit. I can't do anything because, I take a shit and my boobs start leaking. Why? They're not even connected. I don't understand. Now I'm leaking. Now I got to change my clothes. I have no control over anything.
Or have you ever taken a shit while breastfeeding your baby?
No.
Done
I hope you were on the toilet.
Yeah. It's called the Milwaukee Milkshake.
Cool moms.
I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
I don't know if that was cool. That might have been a little
That
warm.
was not cool.
A little warm, that one. Yikes.
Not cool. And I think that first year is the adjustment to that life. And here's the cruelty of nature is that Mother Nature does not dip your toe into losing a sense of identity. That bitch goes, you're all in.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking deep end of parenthood. Yeah. You've got a newborn, which essentially is this thing that can do nothing. They can do nothing on their own. Yeah. And you're, like you said, your whole sense of self, you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
I remember when I first had my Ellis, I remember driving on and thinking, can I listen to Howard Stern anymore? Because I'm a mom now. Like, am I allowed to be who I was before? Am I allowed to make fart jokes? Can I fart into a microphone on this podcast?
That's pretty funny.
You know what? But I'm serious because I'm a nurturer now. I'm this person who gives life and breastfeeds somebody. Like, what does that mean for me?
Yeah. It's a hard question to answer, I think. I think a lot of women it's easy to get lost in that dark forest and become very depressed.
Oh, of course.
I was depressed, but my depression manifests itself as anger. I don't get sad. I get really angry. So I spend a lot of time locked in the bathroom, beating my toilet with the lid to the toilet, just like, I'm going to break another one. Bam! Oh, I feel so much better. Okay, now I can go parent.
Did you have like a supply of toilet lids?
I was an apartment manager. I get those things stat, man. I was replacing them on the reg. I was like, I had to get it out of my body.
Yeah.
Because they can't live without you, literally.
Yeah.
So,
and
that's a scary thing too. To go, okay, this thing cannot actually. I mean, obviously they could buy formula and have someone else raise them, but not really.
No,
it's not the same.
It's not the same. And I think you and I. Hold on, let me get back to this idea. But I think you and I too have it a little. The gravity of doing a good job is greater because of the kind of mothers we have. So for people who don't know my background, her background, we both had mothers with borderline personality disorder. So it's like neat. It's just a fun thing.
It's so cool. The skills I learned: bob and weave, bob and weave, bob and weave, bob and weave. I don't know what's coming.
Does she love me? Does she hate me? Yeah. So for those who know, borderline personality disorder. Black and white thinking. Yes. You're either all good or all bad.
That's right.
LeeAnn and I would get kicked out of our homes for minor transgressions.
Yes.
What's something you got kicked out for and abandoned for?
Which time? One time for wanting to live with my dad. She didn't talk to me for 1.5 years.
Cool.
The second time because I refused to lie to her fourth husband because she was cheating on him with a guy that lived across the hall that wore the leather shorts and the iguana on his shoulder. And I said, no, heaven forbid. I got totally kicked out for that one. In New York City, was homeless for 10 days. Awesome.
Wait, what? I have not heard. How old were you?
23. Yeah, it was bad. And then the third time I was dead to her, I got pregnant. Oh my God.
Which should be the happiest time in a grandmother's life.
Oh no, it was a betrayal.
Right.
And she wrote me an email that was so bad. I printed it out and handed it to Bert's sister, who just bawled. And then Bert read it and bawled. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep this email. So if I ever forget, if I ever start thinking, the bouquets are coming again. Because another borderline personality disorder thing is they throw bricks and then they bring you bouquets.
Right. So
and
you're confused
so
as fuck.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, she must be a nice person because she bought me this beautiful dozen roses and brick.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm printing this brick out.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on this fucker so I don't forget it. No.
Well, it's confusing to have a borderline mom too because like you said, nobody's all bad.
No.
There's
she's very charming, very fun.
Mine too was so beautiful. Everybody loved her. Everybody, my friend. Your mom's so cool, right? She's a cool mom. She's the best.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but at home they're different, and it's like hugging a porcupine.
Yeah, it's scary to grow up that way because the foundation that your childhood is built on is complete sand. And so when you start as a parent trying to build on that foundation, you're like, oh, this needs some shoring up. And I'm not really even sure where to start. It's really hard because you don't have a good roadmap.
No, and I would dare say people that grew up in any level of dysfunction, whether it be in like a family with an alcoholic parent or with whatever fucking gambling addictions,
major disability,
like all the, yes, you know, I even heard somebody, because she grew up with a deaf parent, grew up literally not being heard.
Yeah.
And so that became an issue for her later in life. So if you've grown up that way, you don't know what quote unquote normal healthy parenting looks like.
No, there's no barometer. You're starting from ground zero. I think you have to, what I kind of did was I had some really great aunts, and I had a good friend whose mom was just a rock star. And my dad had a really great girlfriend. So I took like, Margie made really good biscuits. I'm going to make really good biscuits. My Aunt Carol ran her Girl Scout troop for her girls. I think I'm going to do that too. And I just kind of piecemealed from what I observed as a child. But if you don't have that, I don't know how you start. You should read a bunch of books.
I've read every book. Like I said, I'm in therapy twice a week. The problem is too, like everybody was whack. I didn't really have too many great television. I don't know. Like I'm kind of pulling from you, quite honestly. Like I go, well, LeeAnn's a good mom, and you know what I like. What I'll tell you, what I like about you is how involved you are with your girls, how you give a shit. How she came in and I go, what are your credits? She goes, wife of the party. And then she goes, softball championships. And then Georgia got the silver, the Girl Scout award. And like you know that stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I got pregnant, I said to Bert, I can't write anymore because I can't do both. That's just not how I work. When I wrote 6 days a week, 8, 10, 12 hours a day. I'm just an immersive person. So I've tried to go back to writing here and there, and it makes me really angry to be interrupted. And I go, okay, well then what's the priority? Do I fuck my kids up so I can write a screenplay? No.
12 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yes.
And I can't seem to compartmentalize it to do it in 4 hours a day. So my solution was to start my podcast, which is a creative outlet. And it is stimulating for me, but then it's not that much of a time commitment like writing was for me. So I made the conscious decision to put all of that aside to try and be the best mom I could be, because it is a short period of time in your life.
Yes.
And a lot of women can do both. And I think that's really great and admirable. And I did work for the first 4 years of Isla's life and 6 years of Georgia's. But once I stopped working, I was like, I'm not one of those moms who my whole life is my kids by any means. But I wanted to make sure that they got to do the things I didn't get to do. Like, I didn't get to play sports, not in my mom's time frame. I didn't get to do Girl Scouts.
Come on, now. Girl Scouts.
I got to drive across town to drop you off.
Well, my mother thought they were a communist organization.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah, wearing uniforms, marching, singing, song.
Is there ham in vest?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah. No, never. My mother would have hated any kind of organized bullshit. Yeah. So what you're okay. So you're saying now that they're a bit older, I think you have a little more breathing room.
I do.
I agree. I'm kind of like, for fucking mostly a stay-at-home mom. Like I'm a home a lot. I do this will take up a couple hours, and then I'm just gonna go fucking home.
Yeah.
And
but that's the best of both worlds, I really think.
I think I'm trying. It was not easy, and but whatever. But you mentioned the sense of disappearing self. So in the dark forest, there is no self, and I know probably there's a lot of women listening right now that are in the dark forest, and it's terrifying. And you think, am I ever gonna come out? And is this ever gonna end? And I'm here to tell you that yes, you will get out. There is an end, but bitches, you got to sleep train the fuck out of that kid.
Yeah, you do have to sleep train. Sleep deprivation.
Schedule.
Terrible.
I mean, for me personally, what worked was get those babies on a schedule, get them on 2-3 naps a day, whatever they are at their age. And then at night, sleep train those fuckers. Because once that baby's in bed at 7, guess what? Netflix and chill with your hubby. You're drinking a glass of wine. And now you've got some semblance of order in the house. That's just what I did. Now, some people, it's different. They co-sleep, whatever. I don't know what the fuck you do. What did you do? So what did you do?
I did the same.
What did you do?
I did the same thing you did. I sleep trained them. Yeah. And then when that would get, this is the bad part. 7 o'clock bedtime. No, baby sick. Baby sick. No, baby not sleeping at 7. And then,
Rage.
stuff. Oh, I'd get so angry. And I'd be like, how dare you take my 30 minutes or hour that I have to myself? I get so angry.
It's nap rage. It's funny. I just...
It's nap rage?
Yes. I just talked about this with a friend of mine. She goes, oh my God. She's like, the expectation of having the nap, and then when they don't nap, the rage that fills you.
Yeah, rageful.
No,
rage
that was
is
the
word.
1 hour that
I
fucking wanted. You fuck.
I used to go behind him and go, and I go break the toilet lid, obviously. That was my go-to. It was so awesome to watch it shatter. I was just so much relief because that's what I needed. I needed to break something, not Isla.
No.
Just something. I needed something to break in front of me that I caused.
But can I tell you how long it took me to even admit to having these feelings?
Yeah.
And in therapy, I'd be like, she'd try to egg me on. Like, so how does that make you feel? And Alice doesn't have. I'm like, it's fine. It's good. Whatever.
I feel pretty much like an angel. I feel like there's a halo definitely around my head because I am managing the rage. Yeah. It is hard. No one ever talks about that. They never talk about it. I think I may have talked about this in the podcast with Paula, but I felt like there was a death. Like there was a death of self.
Yes.
Right? So that there should be some grieving allowed. And you're not allowed to be grieveful or sad when you have a newborn because it's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
And it's a blessing, and it's the best thing that's ever happened.
And how could you be so sad?
Yeah. And you see the People magazine covers whenever Kardashian has a baby. Baby bliss.
Yeah.
Number 3. And not only that, God forbid, if you had fertility issues conceiving that baby, now the double guilt of, but we did IVF for this fucker, and now I'm having buyer's remorse. Yeah,
right?
No, you gotta be. Yeah, I'm a horrible mom. I'm a horrible fucking person. No,
it is a shame cycle, really.
Yes,
and shame. I think shame is the most destructive feeling you can have.
100%.
So if you can stop the shame cycle and forgive yourself, right, for having these negative feelings, you come out of the forest faster.
Yes,
I think, or at least you can be in the forest and go, darkness can be okay.
Accept the darkness.
We nap in the darkness. So maybe we just need to nest for a minute. Maybe we just need to
slow it down.
And slow it down. And so, something that was really hard for me because of the nature of where I was with working so much is I thought maybe in retrospect, what you're supposed to be doing is healing.
Yep.
So why are you still trying to get the kid to the park and do all the laundry and make sure there's a 5-course meal when daddy comes home? You know, why do you have those expectations on yourself? Maybe your expectation is that you eat, you drink water, and you sleep, and you make sure the baby's alive.
And maybe a shower. Maybe
a shower.
Maybe a shit in a shower.
Now you're pushing it. It's pretty indulgent.
Maybe wash your hair. I don't know. That one's fucking crazy. And what's interesting too, you're absolutely right, is that it's an adjustment and it is a death. And you do come out of the death of the old self and a rebirth of this new identity as a mother. And now you've got to reconcile who you were with who you are. And I got to tell you too, another thing I've never heard bitches fucking, because bitches be lying. Ain't nobody keep it real. Miss Christina P gonna keep it real.
Catch me outside. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Catch me outside. Mommy don't play that. You know what I'm saying? So what I was gonna say that the resentment I felt towards my husband when we first had children, and here I am rocking that baby at 4 a.m, which I don't know how it is that my husband has selective deafness and can sleep through a screaming child.
It's a male gender thing. It's a male thing.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, it's male.
It's the genetic thing.
Yeah.
Passed out. Meanwhile, when that baby cries, I feel it in my uterus.
Yeah,
I feel it.
It's a throbbing.
Yes. The baby's crying. And I remember rocking and breastfeeding Ellis, and the resentment I felt towards my husband of fuck him, he gets to go to Chicago this weekend and live as though nothing has changed, and I'm here tethered to this baby. My career's on pause. Me, my. And I think after a year or so, that was a lot of postpartum depression talking. Let's be real.
Yeah.
The hormones are real. That shit is fucking real.
It's absolutely real.
Dealing with the death of my mother during my pregnancy, having to deal with my mommy issues. Yes. And then the third part is kind of taking your value not from the outside world so much, which I think is when you're an alpha bitch like we are, and you're this worker bee, and then you have a kid and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not getting that validation of job well done every day, because taking care of that baby, nobody at the end of the day is going to be like, gold star, kept him alive another day.
No, and I think for me, I like to see forward progress, right?
Of course.
Oh, I wrote 8 pages today. Forward progress. You know, oh, I rewrote an entire script. Forward progress. I fixed somebody's light fixture in Unit 102. That doesn't happen really with kids. It happens, but it happens so slowly that you're like, oh my God, another day just like yesterday. Another one.
Right.
And, you know, I think that's another thing that you're right. You miss that kind of achievement, reward, recognition that happens when I think it's harder too because we had kids older.
Oh, I'm old as fuck. By the way, I had my second child.
You're not old as fuck.
For motherhood, I was 41 when I gave birth to my second child, 39 when I gave birth to Ellis. So, but they call you a geriatric pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, I was geriatric for Isla. I was 35.
Right.
I mean, whatever. But you had a life. You had a full career, life, marriage, everything, and then everything just goes stop and starts again. I think it's far easier when you have kids right out of college.
Yeah,
you don't know who you are yet in some ways, and it's hard too to go. I've spent all this time, especially with moms like us, figuring out who I am and what I need, and now you're telling me no, you can't have that.
Oh, it's so crazy.
No, you can't. You can't meditate. Sorry, you have a baby. You can't take a walk.
Hilarious.
Working out? Oh, good luck.
Well, that's my favorite lie that they fucking tell you is they go, you know what, Mom? You got to take time for you every day. Take time for you. Take an hour, 2 hours, get your nails done. Go exercise. Like, I'm sorry, if you know a real mom out there, those bitches, you don't, there's no time to go work out.
Oh, no.
My workout was taking the baby, throwing the baby in the stroller and going to the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's what we're going to do today. Fucking maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'll eat a hot dog off the ground. Right. Maybe. That's the, and I would cut my calories.
And that would be a highlight.
And that's, like, this dog's dirty. Yeah.
Found hot dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, totally.
So it's like, you know, all that's fucking dog. I don't know who started this myth that there's going to be me time and you're going to have to do things for you, Mom. Not in the beginning. Now, I think when they get older, you have a bit more time to yourself. I imagine once they're in school, you've got a stretch of day.
Sort of. I mean,
oh, no,
well, sort of. You know, I know. I was expecting when Isla went to kindergarten, I'd be back to writing. I'd be able to compartmentalize it as such. And that didn't really happen. Part of it was my fault. Part of it, I was like, you know, I want her to be in Girl Scouts. I'll start a Girl Scout troop. So not that that's any big amount of work, but I started doing several things like that. Oh, you know, now I need to go do this errand for Bert. The day kind of filled up. And now high school, holy softball team.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. I am driving.
Oh.
I drove 100 miles in one day.
Okay.
In one day, I drove 100 miles.
I'm going to blow my brains out.
So I keep thinking it's going to get easier. I think it gets easier when your kid starts driving, when they're that
But
old.
then I'm full of anxiety because my boys are driving.
Exactly.
And I'll be like, oh, they're going to die in the car.
Exactly.
Cool. Great, LeeAnn.
I know. You're welcome. The dark forest just keeps on going. No, it's not. I don't feel dark like that. I haven't felt dark like that in a long time.
So how'd you get out of the forest? For people listening to this, watching us right now, and you're in the forest, how do I get out?
I think it's a combination of several things. I think it's your hormones rebalancing.
Yes.
I think it is your kids becoming independent, like you're talking about. As a toddler, you go,
it.
great, you're going to watch this show for 30 minutes and I'm just going to like do a crossword puzzle. I don't know anything. I think it's those two things combined and you adjust. I mean, as human beings, we adjust to things.
Yes.
And so I think you kind of adjust to this new style, but it is so abrupt. I mean, you're
It
pregnant.
is the abrupt stuff.
And then you're like, bam, everything happens so abruptly.
Crazy.
It's like ripping the Band-Aid off where you're in pain for a few seconds afterwards and then it kind of calms down. So I think it's just a combination of those things. And finding, for me, I really started feeling better when we moved to where we live now. Yeah. And I found other women who were in the same place I was, who felt similarly and were open to talk about it. You know,
that sounds to me, I mean, that's partially why I'm starting this podcast. I don't really have a cool mom group yet. I think because my kids are so little.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm starting to, there's trickling in. but to talk to other women and have these conversations that we're having, and so that you don't feel so alone in it.
Yeah.
And I think too, like you said, the older they get, you kind of get a little more distance between you and this helpless being. Things chill about a little bit. You get into a schedule.
Yes.
I find scheduling to be paramount. I know exactly what's happening when, and I know that 7:30 hits. I'm upstairs. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I don't know how people did it without a schedule. I got a lot of flack from my in-laws about my schedule with my kids. And now that my sister-in-law has a baby, she's like, schedule is. And I'm like, you can't function without a schedule.
At least try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyway, let me just think if there's anything else I've forgotten with you, Ms. Kreischer. Okay. All right. No, but I again, just fucking know that it will chill. You will chill. You will get out of the forest.
And you know,
okay.
There are times, I think, when women really need help, like really need medical help.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I don't think there is no reason to be ashamed of that. I really think that some people, it affects their chemical being to such an extreme way that they need a chemical to help them manage that time. It's postpartum depression, which is a real thing.
Fucking real. And I was going to say too, fuck all this stuff about you got to take your mom time. You got to exercise. No. Get if you have an hour, go to a therapist.
Yeah.
And get on fucking Lexapro or whatever it is.
Or whatever,
Yeah, take real care, meaningful care of yourself.
Yeah, and give yourself a break for not being everything to everybody all the time.
It's a nightmare.
And including to yourself.
And don't do it all. Okay, but I want to mention, which we haven't.
What?
Just for the record, and I know LeeAnn and I are very familiar with one another, which is why we just go right deep. For the record, we love our children.
Yes.
And we're assuming that anybody listening to this, you obviously love your kids. And a lot of people preface these kinds of conversations with, we love our children. So I just had to fucking say it because I don't want to hear the emails and you don't love your, I fucking love them. I would lay down my life for my children.
I'd say it's a love-hate. It's a love-hate.
Oh, okay, well, LeeAnn's a bad mom. I'm a perfect mom.
No. We all love our kids, of course. But what person on this planet do you love absolutely and perfectly and they are perfect? Nobody.
Not
so why
Kreischer,
can't you?
sure.
Heck no. And so how could you apply that to your children?
I know. I agree. It's a relationship like anything else.
It is, absolutely. And they should be very different person than you.
Oh, for sure. So speaking of this, we have segments on this podcast. This next segment is called Mom Fails.
Uh-oh. Now it's time for a round of Mom Fails. The game.
You love it?
Love it.
That's so official. Okay. Mom Fails. Hey, man, we've all seen those social media posts where moms are doing it right. This is a game where we talk about when you get that shit wrong. So let's do it. We're going to do a round, like what are they called? Quick flash rounds?
I don't know what this
is.
What's that
shit called?
Lightning round.
Lightning round. Oh, God.
We're going to do lightning rounds. I'm going to give you my thing and then you do your thing.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Laziest mom moment.
Oh.
Okay. This is my laziest mom moment. My kid was 2, Ellis was 2, and he was really into playing in the sink. Mm-hmm. And I could not get him out of the sink to eat lunch. Mm-hmm. So I just fed him lunch in the sink. Mm-hmm. And then when he was covered in food, I just kind of hosed him off. And then that was his bath for the day.
Call it a day. Good day.
Yeah. Okay, your turn.
Okay. So I guess Isla was probably 2 and Georgia was 4 and they shared a room. And I was in the kitchen cleaning up and they came out and Georgia had black-faced both of them.
What?
And I was like, what has happened?
What? With
a
what?
Sharpie. And I could not deal. So I just told him to go back to bed. I don't know if that's lazy or irresponsible or a combination of both, but yeah.
So you made them sleep in blackface?
Yeah.
With Sharpie?
Yeah. We dealt with it in the morning. I needed my mommy time, okay?
Can I tell you something? I would have the exact same reaction.
I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm going to give you a 30-minute bath now? No, go back to bed. We'll deal with this in the morning.
Let it seep into your pores. How did you get the marker off their faces?
I don't remember. It was probably nail polish remover or something. It was pretty hard. Hey, I'm a varsity mom. You got to do what you got to do. I'm a ride or die bitch.
I love it, dude.
That's
hilarious.
Yeah, I have pictures. I'll have to send you a picture. They
my
weren't
God.
totally in blackface, but they were pretty blackfaced.
Please send the pictures.
I'll see if I can find it.
Can we put that on our podcast? Can we put the picture up as we're doing this segment? Okay, here we go. Mom fail. Worst thing you fed your kids.
Oh, God.
I'll go first. A lot of cake lately. We've been baking cakes, and then he just eats bowls full of cake, sometimes before dinner. Don't care.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We're not great at the nutrition game. I don't know if you can tell that by Bert's physique, but nutrition is really not super high up on our list.
Yeah.
I think one day I counted 5 meals in a row where they had cheese pizza.
That's okay.
Well, it's a day and a half. It was like breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch. Okay, I got to come up with something else. I'm done. Yeah.
But pizza's got you've got your grains.
Yeah.
You got your dairy.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Yeah.
Tomatoes considered a fruit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, a little sugar, I'm sure, in that sauce.
It's a little. It's
yeah,
fine.
A little bit.
Good job, Mom. Okay. Worst mom brain moment. Okay, I've forgotten entire conversations with my husband over the last 2 years. Like he will be like, "Oh my God, I've forgotten to purchase airline tickets before gigs."
Oh my God.
So I'll spend like $5,000 getting to like.
Oh, Bert
Seattle.
does that, but he doesn't have a mom brain.
He's got something else. Anyway, what's your worst mom brain moment?
I had several running mom brain moments where my daughter's elementary school got out at 1:30 on Tuesdays as opposed to 3 o'clock, and I forgot them so many times where I'd go, "Oh my God, it's Tuesday! Oh my God!" And I'd be like, "Yeah," in the office waiting for me. Sorry.
I've done that. I haven't done that one just yet, but I imagine it's coming.
Oh, it's coming because, you're like in your routine every single day. They get out at 3 and 1:30. It's not like 2:30. It's a whole hour and a half early. And I just mom brained it. It's totally gone.
Okay. How about, I can't believe I left the house like this. I've left the house wearing house slippers and like been in the grocery store by the time I'd realized that I was wearing like just house slippers.
I've done that before too.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty
common.
Yeah, pretty common. I do drop off for my kids every day in my full blown pajamas. No bra, slippers.
What?
Like to my dad. My dad was just here and he goes, "So
I love this.
Yeah, you're gonna get dressed?" And I was like, "No, I do this every day." Every day. I don't get out of the car anymore.
Yeah.
So I just pull up to the curb. Of course, one day my car died and wouldn't start, and I was standing on Ventura Boulevard in Laurel Canyon in my full-blown pajamas, and that day I had chosen to wear my silver wooden clogs, and I had no purse. I had my cell phone only, and I was like, maybe I should start getting dressed in the morning, but I didn't. I waited there for an hour on the curb. I was trying to get people not to park in front of me so the tow truck could get in front of me in my pajamas.
Oh.
No bra.
The no bra to me is the deal breaker. I have to wear at least a home bra because I got big old mom slops.
Your moms are bigger than mine. Mine are manageable.
Okay.
But still not okay,
That's
but manageable.
Amazing. I love that you do it fully in your jams. Okay. Guiltiest mom thought you've ever had. Be honest.
Guiltiest mom
like,
thought?
What's the worst thought you've had as a mom and you were like, "Oh my God, that was terrible. I'm never going to share that with anybody." But share that with me right now.
I remember thinking one time, I'm not sure I like that kid. I'm really not sure I like her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could be friends with her. And she's my kid.
Like,
I've had that thought
right.
before.
Like if we weren't in this relationship with mother-daughter.
I would not be in this
I
relationship.
wouldn't even hang with you. Wow, that's a dark one. Yeah.
But I will not see which child. I'll let my children figure that out for themselves.
Yeah, no. Let's not do that. Well, I won't ask you either.
No.
Okay, I've had the thought after having a second child, the buyer's remorse of like, what have I done? What have I done?
Yeah.
One was so easy.
Oh, we had that conversation in the hospital room after I delivered Isla. Bert went, what were we thinking? And I was like, tell me about it. He said, we had it so good. Georgia was the easiest child that has ever been placed on this planet. And Isla was like the Tasmanian devil. And we didn't know that first.
So your second one was
Tasmanian devil.
We flipped it. So the first one was the devil, Tasmanian devil. The second one, easy as pie. But I was so traumatized from the first one that I was like, any amount of work became traumatic for me. And I was like, oh God, I got.
Oh, if I'd had Isla first, there would be no Georgia.
No second one. Yeah.
No.
I know. I'm such an idiot because the first one was cray cray, and I was like, it'll be fine, and it was. Thank God.
It was. So you're not an idiot.
So I don't know if
you're pretty wise.
Which is worse. Okay. Well, anyway, So I've had buyer's remorse, and I had IVF on the second one. So it was like double mom guilt of like, and I paid for this.
That would make me feel guilty. That would make me feel bad about feeling bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would make me feel
bad. I did shots, and I fucking shot myself in the ass with progesterone. Yeah. Okay, new segment. Here we go. This next segment is called I Almost Killed My Kid.
It's now time for How I Almost Killed My Kid This Week.
Okay. Now, this isn't in reference to rage killing. This is accidental killing. And I follow Jenny Mollen. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yep.
She is an author, and she's also Jason Biggs' wife.
She's actually a friend.
Oh, is she a friend of yours? Well, tell her to fucking come on this show. Okay. God damn it. I love Jenny Mollen. And this poor girl posted this a while back, and man, my heart goes out to her. So this is what she wrote. On Saturday evening, I dropped my son on his head, causing him to fracture his skull and landing him in the ICU. I am forever grateful to Lenox Hill downtown and whatever hospital for their immediate response and aid. Thank you to all the nurses, neurologists, pediatricians, residents, cafeteria staff, and brave women that keep the visitors' bathrooms clean. Not sure how this post turned into an Oscars acceptance speech, but Jason Biggs, thank you, thank God, thank God, thank God. It has been a traumatic week, but Sid is home now, taking things slowly and recovering nicely. He is also eating a lot of chocolate-dipped ice cream cones and plans to try cherry-dipped soon. My heart goes out to all the parents who have or ever will find themselves in this kind of position. You are not alone. And I got to tell you, my honest knee-jerk reaction was to judge her and go like, what? You dropped your kid on his head? How dare you? Right. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I've almost dropped my kids a few times.
Yeah.
I've almost fucking killed my kids a few times.
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
I think who hasn't is the right question. Who hasn't?
Who hasn't? Right. So I'm going to tell you my moment that I almost killed. Well, one time I saw Ellis. He was 2 years old, and he was playing with a quarter. And I saw him playing with it, and I should have taken it away from him, and I fucking didn't. And I put him on the changing table, and he just, boop, pops that quarter in his mouth. And I heard it start to go down his throat, like, and I was like, ah! We, threw him up and pat him on the back, and it came out, thankfully. But that's just one of many.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, I've tried to kill both my kids, apparently. One time I gave Georgia a Subway sandwich in the back seat, in a car seat, but she was older.
Old enough, yeah.
But, she has an open bite, so she can't really bite through a whole sandwich.
What is an open bite?
Her teeth go like this. They don't go like this. They go like this. So when she bites through the sandwich, like the middle stays in the sandwich. So she has to bite like really big bites to get a real bite of sandwich, and she started choking while I was driving. And I couldn't get over to the side fast enough to get her out of the car seat, and I finally got it out of her, but I almost killed her there. And then, like I said before, Isla, when I had my back turned, took a turkey neck out of the garbage and started eating it. And I don't know. I think
a turkey neck,
like
a raw one?
Like a raw neck. It was like this long, just, and I was like, okay, she's totally dying of like E. coli or salmonella or something.
Raw.
Yeah, raw, totally raw.
Savage. I love her.
She's an awful
She's
child.
so great.
She was an awful
horrible
child. She was horrible.
Yeah.
She tried to kill herself daily. It was all I could do to keep her alive.
Oh my fucking God. Okay. Well, thank you for admitting to those moments. And hopefully that made some of you feel good out there for almost fucking killing your kids. Do you want to do cool mom? Okay, let's do this. Let's do cool mom moments.
Time to get hip with the kids with Cool Moms.
Oh. Okay. So this is my attempt to stay relevant. Because I don't have access to the outside world because I'm home so much with my children, I have found that I'm getting into like stuff that kids are into because it's just popular. Like I started getting into TikTok, that app. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it, but I'm not into it. I know, I'm so behind.
Are you even a cool mom?
I'm barely.
Yeah. So I'm heavy.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
So I'm really into TikTok. And I listen to Billie Eilish. You familiar with her?
Can't handle that. It's too depressing, man.
Really?
No can do Billie Eilish. I am hardcore into Post Malone.
Now, Who's that? What? I don't even know who that is.
You know who Post Malone is?
Cool Moms.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
No, every time he comes on the radio, I go, "It's my Buki," and turn it up, and my kids are like, "Oh my God, he's me Buki," which is a term from Star Wars for all those geeks out there,
Dude, I didn't realize you were such a cool mom.
Post Malone. I'm hardcore into Post Malone.
So is this a rapper or just a singer?
No, he does not call himself a rapper.
Okay.
He is a singer. He has like the Sunflower song and the song Wow. And
he's got tattoos on his face.
Oh, he's amazing.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
This guy's
No, I love that
terrifying.
guy. You know why? He's a massive underdog, just like my husband.
Okay, yeah. He is.
You see?
I can see it.
He's bird-like he's bird-like in his thing.
This guy's on drugs, LeeAnn.
Is he?
You sure you want your kids listening to him?
I freaking love his music. I love this guy.
I am shocked right now. Color me shocked that LeeAnn Kreischer is into this guy.
I love him.
Okay, now I got to go listen to his music.
Oh, he's awesome.
Wow, you're way cooler than me, Mom.
I don't know about that. I'm not all TikToked out,
Well, bro, I can send you some choice vids.
Awesome. My kids are into some other thing they
Go
do
ahead.
all the time. It's not TikTok, but something else.
Is this something? Do you allow them on social media? Are they old enough now?
They're on Instagram. They're not on Facebook or anything like that.
Okay.
Or Twitter or anything.
Oh, it's terrible. Speaking of, this is the next segment called This Generation is Doomed. Go ahead.
Is this generation doomed? These moms think so.
I don't know if she thinks so. So this segment, there's a lot of great stuff happening in this generation that has never happened in humanity before. I think this is a really compassionate generation. I think this is a very enlightened, open, free generation. Also, a lot of bullshit going on. And I think this is an example of some bullshit I saw. Yes, I wore my slippers to the fucking grocery store, but I'm a mother of 2 small children and I was checked out. This fool was wearing them, not accidentally, deliberately in the airport, like to board a plane, bro. Yeah. That's not cool, right?
No, that's not cool. I see that all the time too, where there's no separate, nothing's important.
Yeah.
Nothing's important. Even like prom, okay? Georgia had this thing called MORP, which is prom spelled backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so you're gonna get dressed up? No. She wore jeans and a Converse tennis shoes. And I'm like, there's nothing's important anymore. But how long did you plan for prom when we were young?
I mean, ever since I saw the movie Pretty in Pink, I was like, this is going to be the best thing. And of course, it was like the lamest thing ever.
It is, but it still differentiates itself from a regular Friday night when you go into the movies.
Yeah. But you try and you get your dress and it's a big deal. And
something special.
You're like, am I going to blow this guy or are we going to hook up?
Why did he get the limo? I'm concerned.
Did you blow your prom date? Did you have sex on prom night?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I blew him, but my memory doesn't go back that far. It was a long time ago.
Was it a boyfriend or just like a
boyfriend?
Cool.
Yeah, I always had boyfriends.
Doing it. Me too.
I wasn't a skank.
Me neither. I'm monogamy all the way.
Me too. I was, yeah.
Okay. Brings me to our next segment. Speaking of skanks, mom trends.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got in the mom trend world.
What's trending in mom world? Let's find out.
So, okay. I read that moms are taking pole dancing lessons, and you, just did a full episode.
Freaking awesome.
Okay, tell me about it.
Okay, so here's was my takeaway, right?
Go for it.
I went there thinking they were going to really teach me how to be a stripper, right?
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
You mean you don't have to have a broken child? Like they teach you to have a broken child?
I came with that already.
And your dad
I came with that already.
You. Yeah.
I don't have daddy issues.
Your
but
dad molested you in the parking
You may
lot.
have to have that to teach. I'm not sure, but
Gotcha.
But my takeaway from that was I don't play enough in life. I felt like I was like climbing trees as a kid, like swinging around that pole. It triggered that like, oh my God, I used to love to climb trees. Why don't I climb trees? Obviously, adults don't walk around climbing trees, but the base of that was play.
Interesting.
You just is free
Playfulness.
physical play, and that I don't move parts of my body fucking ever.
Oh no, I'm disconnected entirely.
Totally. And
Yeah.
I didn't really realize how disconnected from my physical body I was.
Wow.
Because, after you have a baby, everything changes. Not to mention your age.
Yeah.
And I definitely am not the sex kitten Bert married in any sense of that term, physically, emotionally, anything. So I was like, I went to this pole dancing class and I came back going, oh, I need to actually get in touch with my body, not in a sexual way, but in a physical way. Not like I'm going to go for a jog. That's not what I mean.
No.
like after that, I went to the park and climbed a tree. Literally, Bert was like, "You're crazy," and I was like, "I'm going to see if I can still climb a tree like I did when I was a kid." I lived in trees.
And you could?
Oh yeah, I got to the top of the tree.
It.
Paula ran into me and she was like, "What are you doing in this tree?" And I was like, "I just took this pole dancing class." She went, "Okay, I'm out. I can't listen to you anymore. I have no idea what you're talking about."
Our friends.
But
no, but here's the thing. But did you? Because I would like to get in touch with my physical being as well. But the sexiness, I'm very uncomfortable.
Well, I didn't do that. Now she was
okay.
going, do this, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm not
lame.
going to do that. And she would rub your ass, and I was like, I'm not doing that either. No. So maybe I just I didn't participate fully. In
Show me your move. Do you have one move you can?
God, I don't know. You don't have a pole.
But no. Like, one of these, did you learn a hand thing?
No. She taught me how to crawl across the floor and stuff. But I'm so not shaped in any kind of svelte way that I saw the playback from it and went, that's not good.
They playback, they videoed it?
Halston videoed it for me. I wanted him to videotape it so we could take clips out of it from the podcast.
Hilarious.
And I watched it and I went, yeah, I don't need to do that again. But I understand what physically it triggered in me. So like I've signed up to start taking rock climbing classes because I forgot how much I love to be physical as a kid to play.
I love it.
So that's what it did for me. Now I think some women may find themselves lost or not fulfilled and want to connect sexually or sensually for a different reason, but that's not what it did for me. And actually for Kirsten, who was on my podcast too, she had the same reaction I did. I don't play enough and I'm not like physically awake enough.
Isn't that interesting? And I think too that children rob your pussy of its juices. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the episiotomy scar?
Yeah, I got two.
Years?
I got two, dude.
I have two as well. I felt mine for like 2 years post each birth, and I was like, you know, it's a little distracting.
Yeah.
That there's this one spot.
Sucks.
It sucks, but it goes away.
Yeah, eventually my vag is better now after the second one.
Yeah.
But it's like children, especially because you're constantly giving and giving as a mom, and then you're like, I don't want to fuck my husband. At the end of the day, you're like, I have to fucking be sexual? Like there are some days you're just not in it. But what I do, I mean, that's what wine is for.
That's a lubricant.
Right? That's what fucking wine is for, bitches.
Right.
Because like you do want to be with your husband. You do. You should. It's like it's good for you. It's good for the marriage.
Yeah.
It's good to reconnect with your vag. And it's not going to be like it was down there.
No.
At least for me.
It's not for me either. Unless you have some kind of vaginal rejuvenation that you
I'm looking into
surgically do.
I am.
Are you?
In Beverly Hills, there's a bitch, but I don't know. We'll talk about that later. I might try it. But yeah, it's not the same.
Not the same.
But
I
you
did a
still gotta
podcast
do
about it. It's called
Yep.
Sex.
I'm writing it down. There we
Sex
go.
is with Kathy and Sam, because one of the moms in my neighborhood said, please do a podcast about sex, because I feel like it's like number 2 on my husband's list and it's like number 7 on mine. And it's not like
truth, man.
it's not like I don't want it. I wanted it like 4:30. But by 9, when the kids are in bed, I'm like, are you kidding me?
I know.
I am exhausted. And so we talked about that, and I got a lot of heat from it from guys. Saying like, you're frigid and you're just frigid women. And I was like, honest to God, I am not frigid. I just am fucking tired.
You're not frigid at all.
No,
you're
I'm
an
very
SLUT, LeeAnn.
I don't know if I'm an SLUT.
Yeah, you're a triple D SLUT. No, I know from before you, the way, listen, I know, I've known you for a million years.
Yep.
You're definitely not frigid.
No.
I do think that when 2 children and the career and the life and a fucking thing, it's just not a priority. It's just not for women, but for men it is. So you have to be cognizant of that.
You do. As a woman, you have to say, I need to bump it up at least to number 3.
Right.
And then a man needs to go, well, I can put it at number 3 and now we're at the same place.
Hey, I like
it
that.
takes it from both sides, because I did 3 parts to this podcast. I did the first 2 were the same 2 women, and the third one was Bert and one of the women's husbands. And he basically said, listen, my libido is the same as it was when I was 18.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
no way.
Here's a news flash. Mine ain't. So I don't know. That's where you have a problem reconciling it, right? If he's still 18,
well, how
and
is
I'm 48.
But how does he have kids and the family
Yeah.
and the thing? Well, how does he still? Man, I don't know who these people are.
It's because guys are like, they're just like sex driven more than women are.
Like my husband is obviously, but he's not how it was when he was 18. I definitely.
I think Bert may be like he was 18.
Oh my! Well, he's emotionally.
He's still kind of 18. Yeah.
But
maybe
wow,
12.
It's fucking it's just fascinating.
It is fascinating.
We're wired a little differently, I guess. The maternal stuff takes priority.
And biologically, I mean, we go to menopause. We're not supposed to want to procreate after a certain age, and men can make babies till they die.
Right.
So it makes sense that biologically they don't have this kind of decline in libido, and it makes sense that we do because we're no longer. Biologically, that's the purpose of sex. Number one is to procreate.
Right.
Pleasure is a side effect.
Right.
I guess.
But for a marriage, I'd say pleasure is you got to do
number
it.
one.
You got to fucking do it. And then also, your body doesn't want you to make babies because after the breastfeeding's supposed to stop. They say that. I don't know.
It doesn't. My friend Kathy got pregnant while breastfeeding.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it does, but nature is like, factory shut for at least a year. Your body takes a year to recover. Yeah. So you shouldn't be, what the fuck cares? Okay, listen. Thank you so much for joining Miss LeeAnn Kreischer. Check out her podcast, Wife of the Party. Subscribe. Leave positive reviews. Is there anything else you want to add to this? Anything else you got, Miss LeeAnn Kreischer?
No, but I'm really grateful you had me on.
Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
You're the first person I thought of. You're a varsity mom, and I adore you. And thank you so much for being here.
Same to you, lady. I adore you too.
All right. See you next time on Where My Mom's At. Whoop, whoop.